Walk with me for a few minutes. So, question on my mind this morning. Do you think there's a big difference between being alive and feeling alive? I love the saying that, most people die at age 21. We just don't bury them until they're, 65 or 70. Or I guess today, hopefully 80 or 90 or more. But I think there's a lot to understanding the difference between being alive and really feeling alive every single day. And that's the conversation I want to have with you this morning. Checking in. How's your morning going? How you doing? How are we feeling? Another beautiful day. Drop a hello below. Give me a high five. Give me a hi. Give me a ciao. Give me your favorite emoji. Give me something so I know you're out there. I'd love to see who's walking with me on this conversation this morning, because it's going to be a good one. Being alive versus feeling alive. You guys know what I mean by that. It's an energy thing, right? There's a difference between being here, like you're alive, you're breathing, you're going through the motions every single day. Time seems to pass away. Sure, you're alive by the physical sense, but that's a big difference than feeling alive. Feeling alive, we've all been there. How many of you guys know what I mean by the difference when you really feel alive? When was the last time you really felt fully alive? It's an energy thing. It's a vibration thing. It's a fulfillment thing. What comes to your mind? What do you feel? Just when you say that, right? Go ahead and say it in your mind, or it's okay. Nobody's probably looking at you right now. You're probably home, isolated, quarantined. Say it out loud. I feel alive. You'll feel the difference. My question, I guess, is why are most people, especially at this time, more focused on just being alive than focusing on what makes us truly feel fully alive? You see, I think the whole point of life is to live it. The point of life isn't just to, get through it. The point of life is to experience it. The point of life is to live it to the fullest. The point of life is to enjoy it. The point of life is to be happy. The point of life, right, is to make the most of the time we have. When it's all said and done, at the end of the day, guys, we'll look back and our time here is a blip. And I promise you, all of us, when we're looking back in final moments, one of the things that will come across all our minds, all our hearts is, did I really feel alive while I was alive? Or was I just going through the motions? 5 thoughts for you guys today on what I've found makes me feel fully alive. And I've found these to be beneficial and valuable when I've shared them with others. So I'm going to share them with you guys today, if that's okay. How many of you guys are down to have a conversation today on 5 things that I know will help you feel fully alive? If that's a good topic for our chat this morning, on our walk this morning, give me a capital yes below. First thing that I think helps us feel alive is new and novelty. There's something about the new. There's something about the novel. There's something about the first time. There's something about, a new experience. There's something about all of that, the new, the novelty, that gets our juices flowing, that makes us feel fully alive. Let me ask you guys a question on kind of time. What year are we in? What month are we in? Is it crazy to me that April, almost May 2020? Man, it seems like every year gets faster than the last. How many of you guys feel that every year time seems to accelerate. You ever ask yourself why that feels that way? I'll give you my personal theory. I think one of the reasons that time seems to accelerate the older we get is we stop experiencing new. You know, I watch my kids, my son, 4.5, my daughter almost 2, and like a day is a millennium for them. There's so much they can do, so many activities, so many games, so many thoughts, so much imagination, and there's so much new first. I remember when we were kids, it seemed like days were forever, weeks were years. But I think what happens as we get older, kind of a fact of life, is we tend to have less new, less novelty, more familiarity. Which means we tend to slip in kind of a autopilot or a routine. And time seems to fly by because we're not experiencing what I'm talking about here, new and novelty. I guess the opposite of new and novelty would be familiarity. Maybe mediocrity, maybe down to complacency. Some would call it autopilot. Others call it the rat race. When was the last time you did something for the first time? And how did it make you feel? So guys, I challenge you to collect first. Never stop searching for new. Check out that. Collect novelty. I think it's one of the things that keeps us young. It's one of the things that helps us make the shift from being alive to feeling alive. A second one, I think, would be growth and challenge. I think one of the things that makes us feel alive is growth, progressing, progress. And I say challenge because they go hand in hand. Growth comes with challenge. I love the quote that our life begins outside our comfort zone. Meaning once we get to the edges of what's easy for us, that's when growth begins. And you guys, I believe it's built into our human DNA to crave growth, to crave better, to crave progress. Like nobody wants to get to a place and stagnate. Nobody talks about, hey, man, I'm exactly how I was 10 years ago today. Like nobody claims that. Like, hey, you know what? Nothing in my life has changed in the last 2 years. Like that's not stuff we brag about. We want to grow. We want to progress. And that comes with challenge. That comes with stretching ourselves. And I know with challenge comes, unknown, uncertainty. But you guys, what's the opposite of that? Consider the alternative. No challenge is straight familiarity. No challenge is consistent routine. Consistent routine, yeah, it's familiar, but familiarity over time, well, that becomes boredom. Boredom, guys, isn't feeling alive. Living the same day over and over and over and over and over again is not feeling alive. Sure, you are alive, but you're not living. You got to push yourself. You got to challenge yourself. Now's a great time, right, to push yourself beyond maybe your comfort zone. Get out into the banks of growth and challenge and watch how you feel when you do so. Third one, activity and adventure. Activity and adventure make me feel alive, and I bet they make you feel alive. Now, those words might mean different things to all of us. For some of us, I don't know, I'm feeling alive right now on this hill. It's a big one. Active every morning. It's why I start my days like this. Activity, moving, doing, adventure, right? Getting yourself that feeling. And again, it might be different degrees of, adventure, different degrees of risk, but all of us can have activity and adventure in our life. If you think about it, we are chemically designed to crave activity and adventure, right? Because when we start moving, we get in an adventure state, we get the adrenaline going, we get the endorphins going. We're chemically designed to shift our internal chemistry, the way we feel when we're being active, when we're seeking adventure. You guys, our body doesn't lie. It was designed for a reason. Listen to it. What can you do right now, especially at this time, to seek adventure, to be active? Again, consider the alternative. sitting around the house, doing nothing. I heard yesterday, one of my business partners said, oh yeah, the COVID-19. You mean where everybody's gaining 19 pounds during quarantine? Kind of a bad joke, but sadly partly true. You don't want to be that. You got to be active, got to be seeking adventure, even during this time. You got to get more creative to do that now than before, but you can still do it. And you guys, that helps you feel alive. So what can you do to get active, to seek adventure within the rules that we're bound with right now? Let's see, I'll give you 2 more thoughts. Catching my breath here. Whew. How about giving and sharing? Giving and sharing makes you feel alive, reminds you of what it's about, gives you that fulfillment, gets the juices flowing. I love the quote, the purpose of living is giving. It's when we give, we feel most alive, not when we get. And you guys, giving can be anything where you're sharing without strings attached, right? Where you're giving without expectation, where you're contributing purely for the service to another, not for the selfishness of what comes back. That's giving or sharing. But it could be as easy as, ooh, rattlesnake. Rattlesnake in the middle. You're glad I was paying attention to 2 things, huh? Because that guy I would have stepped on. Let's get this guy out of the way. Really, buddy? Not gonna move. Not gonna move. Bet you guys didn't see this one coming. I didn't plan this for a life lesson. Hey, what gets adrenaline going, endorphins going, makes you feel alive? When you're about to step on a rattlesnake in the middle of a Facebook Live. That'll do that. These guys come out when the sun starts coming out. Let's go, buddy. You can move. We don't want to piss them off. You guys feel alive right now? You're like, how many of you guys feel for my life as I'm about to run past? Okay, we go. Yeah, that'll make you feel alive. Where was I? Sharing, giving. You guys do that, it makes you feel alive. Last one I'll share, because I probably should keep my eyes on the trail this morning. Sun's out, heat's out, which means the king of the mountain there is out. Last one. Let's go with love and connection. Love and connection makes you feel alive. Guys, at the end of the day, that's what we all want. At the end of the day, that's what it's worth. That's what life's about. You can have everything, earn everything, do everything, achieve everything. But if you do all of that without people around you that you really genuinely, unconditionally love and care for, and they do back to you, you miss the whole point. You're alive, but you're not going to feel alive because you missed the whole concept of why we're here. So guys, in order to be love, you have to love. In order to have connection, you have to give it. People put trust and faith in those who put trust and faith in them. There's been a lot of studies, a big, famous, long psychological study on like happiness and actually people that lived the longest. And there's been correlations to both. People that lived the longest and lived the happiest had the best communities of people around them. Whether that community be family, friends, right? It doesn't necessarily matter the blood through the veins, but what matters is the connection, the relationship. And that's what makes it feel alive. You guys, that's the difference between just going through the motions, right? And really growing through the motions. Difference between surviving and thriving. Difference between being alive and feeling alive. So guys, there's 5 thoughts. You tell me, which one of those 5 do you need to work on the most right now? Maybe there's more than one. Those are 5 things that work for me. They're 5 reminders I give myself when I'm speaking to you. I'm equally speaking to me. They're thoughts in my mind that I know work, and I'm sharing them with you really as a gift, but also to help drill in the belief system into my own mind in hopes that it serves me and it serves you at the same time. And those are things that I've found value in, and hopefully you'll find value in and adopt a couple of them as your own. And again, my thoughts are not the end all be all, they're just my thoughts. If you guys have other opinions, other recommendations, I believe in the value we all can provide. I read all the comments, share them below. Hopefully all of you take the time to read and reply to each other's comments who are kind of in this virtual walk together. So share, please, things that you found make you feel really alive. And you guys, at this time where so much energy is focused on surviving, let's make sure we don't forget about thriving. At this time where we're so focused on life and death and how many people we lost today, let's make sure we also put equal energy. So not only how do we be alive, but how do we feel alive? Because at the end of the day, spending our life without truly living is not the point. If we get to the end of the day and we spent all our time going through motions, just being, just existing, instead of becoming, instead of accelerating, instead of experiencing, we miss the whole point of why we're here, and we miss the whole point of life. We got to make the shift the script, so to speak, from just being alive to feeling alive, and feeling alive each and every day, because at the end of the day, today is all we know we have. Love you guys. Appreciate you. If you got value from this, as you know, the biggest gift you can give is to share, and you'll feel more alive when you do. So tag someone that came to your mind that lives life to the fullest and will resonate with this and contribute, or maybe right now they're just going through motions and they need this conversation to jumpstart them, to get them back to what living is all about. Tag them in the comments below. And if you feel this offers enough value, click the share button, share it to your community, give a little post of, who this would be for. And until the next time we get to walk together, have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being here. Until next time, here's to feeling alive this week.